Every guy, at some point in his life, has imagined the perfect girl, the one who seems to stand out from all the rest. Maybe it's the way she talks, the way she laughs, the way she looks at him that makes her feel different. In his mind, she becomes more than just a girl. She becomes the girl, the one he starts to dream about, the one who consumes his thoughts, the one he silently places on a pedestal. Without even realizing it, he convinces himself that if he could just win her over, everything would fall into place. But here's the truth most guys never stop to consider. Is she really that special? Or is it the illusion you've created around her that makes her seem so untouchable? It's easy to fall into the trap of idealization. When you don't know someone fully, when your connection is based on surface-level moments, brief conversations, or fantasy, your mind fills in the blanks. You start imagining what she's like, what it would feel like to be with her, how perfect life would be if only she saw you the way you see her. But what you're chasing isn't her. You're chasing a projection, an image built from your own desires, hopes, and fears. And when you do that, you stop seeing things clearly. This is where everything starts to go wrong. You get caught up in your head. Every text becomes a sign. Every silence becomes a test. You overthink, overanalyze, and start acting from a place of fear. Fear of losing her. Fear of saying the wrong thing. Fear of not being good enough. That fear becomes obvious. She can feel it. And the moment you hand over that power, the moment you act like she's above you, the dynamic shifts. She stops being intrigued and starts pulling away. If you take a close look at the kind of guys women chase, you'll notice something interesting. They're rarely the ones doing the chasing. It's not because they're playing some manipulative game or trying to act cool. It's because they're too focused on something bigger than a woman's attention. They're focused on themselves, on their goals, on becoming the best version of who they are. And that's what makes them magnetic. That's what makes women want to be around them. A man who knows his value doesn't wait around hoping someone else will see it. He lives it. The truth is, most guys spend so much time trying to prove they're good enough for her that they forget to ask themselves, is she even good enough for me? That's not arrogance, that's self-respect. When you see yourself as the prize, everything shifts. You stop trying to impress and start expressing. You stop chasing and start attracting. Women don't want to be worshipped. They want to be inspired. They want to feel like being with you elevates their life in some way. And that only happens when you're building something that matters. When you're on a mission that doesn't revolve around getting a woman's attention. Think about historical examples like Pablo Picasso. He didn't wait around for women to validate him. He poured himself into his work. He was consumed by his craft, his vision, his purpose. And in doing so, he became irresistible. Not because he was trying, but because he wasn't. The attention he got was a byproduct of who he was becoming. That's what most guys miss. You don't become valuable by chasing validation. You become valuable by becoming someone worth chasing. When you live like that, she can feel it, and that's when the real attraction begins. Being too available might seem like a good thing on the surface. You're showing interest, being responsive, and making an effort. But in reality, it's one of the quickest ways to kill attraction. When you're always there, always ready to drop everything for her, you stop being exciting. You stop being a mystery. And slowly, without even noticing, you become predictable, expected, even boring. It's not because being kind or attentive is wrong. It's because it's too easy. And the truth is, we don't value what comes too easily. We value what we have to earn. When you make yourself too available, you remove all the tension, all the curiosity, all the natural pull that comes with not knowing someone fully yet. If she always knows where you are, always knows what you're doing, and always knows that you'll be there the second she calls, what's left to wonder about? What's left to get excited over? Think about how you feel when you finally achieve something that took real time and effort. Whether it's a career milestone, a fitness goal, or even saving up for something expensive, it's the effort that makes it feel worthwhile. The same concept applies to relationships. If she never has to work for your attention, she won't truly appreciate it. Attraction needs space to breathe. It needs uncertainty, a little unpredictability, and a sense that she's stepping into your world, not that you're constantly orbiting around hers. So instead of replying instantly to every text or canceling plans to see her, start valuing your own time. Fill your schedule with things that matter to you. Be genuinely busy, not pretending, but actually living. That's when she'll start to notice the shift. That's when she'll begin to wonder why she doesn't have your full attention. And that's when the chase begins. Most guys don't realize how much power they give away by simply being afraid to walk away. It's subtle at first. You like a girl. She's beautiful, charming, different from the rest. So, you hold on tight. You make excuses for her behavior, ignore the red flags, and convince yourself that if you just try harder, she'll eventually see your worth. But underneath all of that, what's really going on is fear. Fear that you won't find someone better. Fear that being alone means being less. And that fear is what she feels, even if you never say it out loud. The truth is, a man who's scared to walk away is a man who can be controlled. Not because she's manipulative, but because she knows consciously or not that no matter how she treats you, you'll stay. And once she realizes that, the respect starts to fade. Attraction without respect is short-lived. You might still be around, still texting her, still planning dates, but in her mind, the mystery and strength she once saw in you will start to disappear. You'll become safe, soft, and easy to ignore. Walking away isn't about being cold or heartless. It's about knowing your value. Think of it like this. If you were working at a job that underpaid you, gave you no benefits, and constantly disrespected your time, would you keep showing up every day hoping things would magically get better? Or would you recognize your worth and move on to something that appreciates what you bring to the table? The same logic applies here. When you're willing to walk away from a woman who isn't matching your energy, you send a powerful message not just to her, but to yourself. That message is, I know what I deserve. And that kind of self-respect is incredibly attractive. One of the biggest mistakes guys make is waiting for her to text first. Waiting for a clear sign she's interested. Waiting for the perfect moment to make a move. And in all that waiting, they don't realize they're slowly giving away control. They become passive, hesitant, uncertain. And in doing so, they become less attractive. Women aren't drawn to indecision. They're drawn to confidence, to direction, to a man who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to go after it. If you're always looking for permission to act, to speak, to lead, you're not showing strength, you're showing doubt. Think about how attraction works. It's not just about looks or status. It's about energy. It's about the way you carry yourself. A man who leads with purpose naturally creates a sense of security and excitement. He doesn't ask, do you want to hang out sometime? He says, I'm heading to this new place Friday night. You should come. He doesn't wait to be chosen. He creates an experience that invites her in. That energy is what pulls her closer, not because he's trying to impress her, but because he's already impressed with his own direction. Waiting puts you in the passenger seat of your own story. You stop living for yourself and start adjusting your life around someone else's pace. That's a recipe for disappointment, because if she's unsure about you and you're unsure about yourself, nothing moves forward. But when you take the lead, something changes. Even if she's not interested, you've already won. Why? Because you didn't hesitate. You moved. And that's what a real man does. He leads. Stop waiting for signs. Start creating moments. Because when you lead, you don't just attract women, you attract the right ones. The ones who are ready to be part of your world. Not the other way around.